vaginal douching or douching or however that's pronounced, like, using things to wash inside the vagina, they can cause an imbalance in the normal flora of the normal habitat of the reproductive system. So that's also not advisable. The correct way to clean is cleaning the places with soap and the sweat glands. That's the outside or the places with hair with soap and water, and then the inside is self-cleansing, so you just leave that alone. So all these imbalances can lead to recurrent vaginal discharges. You treat it with so many agents, it's not going. It's because the person, that more you're treating, the more the person is still like using things to wash, putting yoni pills. There's no scientific proof that yoni pills do anything. I'm sorry. So some of these things cause an imbalance, and even some of the substances used are very corrosive. Like they can burn the area, so it changes everything. No matter how much you treat the person, it's like she's already disrupted the normal environment, and it gets very difficult. And having some of these recurring vaginal discharges and infections can later lead to miscarriages. So it's important to be careful about the kind of what goes in. Let me put it down. When I say what goes in, I'm sure you understand. Yes.
Yeah. So somebody is saying that people are preparing stews down there.
Yes, and they are barbecuing there. So ginger. What is the other one? Garlic.
Okay.
Garlic mix. I don't know whether it's a barbecue or like some kebab going on there, but all those things.
Marinating.
So all those are really not necessary. In fact, you might think that it's giving it, you're cleansing it, but what are you cleansing? Who said it's dirty? If there is something wrong, then probably it's an infection, but we are not dirty. It's not dirty. Our bodies are not made dirty, so there's no need for a cleanse. Unless there is an infection, then you are treating an infection, but we don't need cleansing.
Yeah. Doc, some people also want to be tight, they want to be sweet, they want to be able to lock down and somebody who pays very well, and there are so many things. My sister was playing a video for me on TikTok just before we went live, and people, the person was advertising that if you want someone to leave their man for you or sign some checks and all that, just use this, like insert it, and people are doing all those things in relationships, and like whilst they are not married, whilst they are not trying to conceive, to be able to lock down a man. What do you have to say about that?
So I know some of
that's a work anyway.
So how some of these substances work they are temporary. So what they do is that maybe they will draw all the moisture out, so you get the feeling that you are tight. And some of them also contain corrosive substance. So when you use it, like you see, it'll be like at the same time it's removing dirt or something, but it's actually your skin sloughing off or coming off because of the chemical reaction. So it's not advisable. Sometimes after some time, when some people use this and they come in for an examination, it's like there's some chronic bad odor, chronic discharge, or the whole area has changed. So those substances or things, they are not meant for use. So there's no need using them. You can do things like the Kegels to try to tighten the place, but really, I think all these things are just hype. They don't actually really help or do anything. And even when they do, it's just temporary, and it's changing. They change the whole normal anatomy and physiology of the place with time. So we go in and examine, and we see the difference. So you might not be able to examine like how we are examining, but we see the difference, and we also notice and see the smells and bad odors that are coming, and then the infections that you treat. I know sometimes some people won't come and tell the truth, but they use all sorts of things. You do so many tests, you're not seeing what it is, but it's just because they've changed the whole chemical makeup of the reproductive system. So we need to be very careful about that. You don't need anything extra. If you are having problems with a scent or discharge, it's an infection. It's not because you need something extra.
Okay. this table that you shattered. We'll hear about it in the comments anyway.
Oh, they'll
But
come for me. But Unipel, if you're using Unipel, stop. Oh, stop. If you're douching, flashing, cleansing, steaming, marinating, stop. Oh, I've said it. Come and sue me.
well, Bobby Queen. Okay, so please, if you are listening, if you just joined us, we are talking to Dr. Karen Amediampong. She's a gynecologist and she's like blowing our minds here. She's been talking about some things that we do in relationships or we do what before we get married or before we start trying to conceive that would affect us later or impact our ability to be able to conceive once we are ready to do that. And she has mentioned